It is time for your money, and retirement planning is about more than just saving. It's all about strategy, yet millions of Americans still fall into the same traps that can derail their financial goals. And we have the financial expert, Colin Evans with Evans Financial Group, and you're going to tell us how to avoid those pitfalls. We all want to know.
It's just, awareness is really a big thing, and just having that awareness. One of the things that, we discussed a little bit of it last week, but this cost of waiting, and we see this so much of, I'm going to save after the holidays, or I'm going to save after, or I'm going to, wait till and it's delay, and it becomes a further pushback. And that pushback really can be harmful down the road, because one of the biggest things is, we joke around in the financial world is the eighth one of the world is compound interest. And you kind of lose a lot of that because you lose time. And that's a big asset when you're heading into the retirement time. And number two, we've got no written plan equals no directions. And I'm a really big proponent of goal setting. And there's statistics all over the board, but between 60 and 70% are typically what we see from Google searches, with those that write their goals down have greater odds of statistically reaching the goal. We stress and cannot stress enough putting a plan in place, because when you have something down, you have something in writing, that you're getting a strategy, your guide for what you're planning on doing in those retirement years. This allows for, what if we have this inflation issue? What if we have a tax changes that come down from Uncle Sam that we're allowed to change and maybe pivot or change directions or alter the strategy just a little bit. But by having this put in place, this can squash some unknowns. Instead of flying by the seat of our pants and kind of just figure it out as we go, putting it down can actually really take a lot of that worry off of the plate.
Absolutely.
One of the big ones, and this is one that we see quite common. This was for years and years. We give a lot of live events, and giving live events, one of our bullet points for many years was listening to family and friends, and taking advice from family and friends. That can be okay, and and for the most part, your family and friends really aren't out to hurt you.
Right.
However, they might not know the full spectrum of what your financial situation is. They don't know, all the things in the background, or what underlying things are there, what other expenses. While they might be giving something that could be a good idea, it might not be great for your situation at the time, and it can turn out to be damaging. And we have seen this time and time again. And so that's, just take that kind of advice, in stride or with a grain of salt, and really take the time and go visit with a financial professional. Right. And and one of the last points we really want to make is the right advisor for the right stage in life. And what we mean by that is, when we're kind of in our young, you get out to, starting that career, you're in that accumulation phase. And that's what you're really looking for, is that advisor that is in the accumulation phase, helping you with growing your money. When it comes time to the retirement window, you really want somebody that specializes in the planning and the retirement strategy phase, where you're looking at taking Social Security, taking taxes into equation, taking inflation factors, and factoring all these things in, and how we're going to spend it and have these assets, come in consistently over the years. So this is a couple of the points that we really just want people to think about as they go through, and avoid some of these pitfalls that can really put them down in the retirement time and give them the best, best use of knowledge for heading into it.
And you have many advisors with Evans Financial, so if somebody was wanting to get in touch with you guys, how do they do that?
Absolutely. You can find us on the web at evansfinancial.com, or kick an email over to us at info@evansfinancial.com.
All right, here's your weather with Joe.